The movie begins in the year of 1964, introducing us to a boy named Frank. He is an intelligent boy who at an early age makes a jetpack, and he comes to sell it at a festival in New York. However, it gets rejected because it is not working properly. He becomes disappointed as his efforts are wasted and leaves the place. Sadly, he then meets with a girl named Athena who gives him a lapel pin on which T is written, and she asks him to follow her. He does so and takes a water ride, which reaches towards a tunnel where his badge is scanned and sends him towards a lift. However, here we come to know that it is not a lift and rather a teleportation machine, a machine that sends people from one place to another place without traveling. It sends Frank towards Tomorrowland. He gets astonished to see everything over there. Everything is high-tech and it seems to be another world. He is observing everything over there, and at that moment a robot tries to take his jetpack. Frank gets terrified to see them, and he falls down from a bridge while running. However, Frank's jetpack saves him from a collision. Here Frank realizes that his jetpack is repaired completely and is working completely fine. Later, he finds Athena in the same place. She tells him that the place is called Tomorrowland. Frank starts to live with Athena in that place and is enjoying himself a lot over there. He starts to make so many inventions in Tomorrowland. Later, we see many years have passed in the movie on Earth. We are introduced with a girl named Casey, and her father is an engineer at NASA. She deliberately damages the programs of NASA, and because of that, they need his father to repair the problem. Her father's job is intact over there that way, but this time someone notices it and she gets arrested. As a result, in the next scene, as Casey is being released, she notices a lapel pin in her luggage, which is similar to Frank's lapel pin, the same pin that was given by Athena to Frank. When Casey touches the lapel pin, she at once teleports to Tomorrowland. She becomes surprised to see everything over there as she has never witnessed something like it before. Everything is so different and advanced, and she is enjoying it a lot. As she is exploring Tomorrowland, suddenly countdown starts in her lapel pin, which implies that the battery is going down. She reaches back to Earth. She is very confused about everything that happened to her. She is determined to find the badge, and going back to Tomorrowland when she gets home, she wants to solve her confusion, and she does some research along with her brother about the badge. They find an address of a shop. Upon researching, she later goes to the shop and shows the shopkeeper the badge she finds from her luggage. Looking at the badge, the shopkeepers become very astonished. They furiously investigate her, but she is unaware of that badge as she gets it from her belongings. Suddenly, they start to shoot her with a gun when Casey is unable to answer their questions, and she immediately runs away. As a result, Athena appears there shortly after and gets in the fight with those shopkeepers and kills one of them or breaks it after she eliminates one of them. It is revealed that the shopkeepers are actually robots. Athena and Casey both try to leave the shop, and at that very moment the second robot blasts himself. The shop burns, but they both escape successfully. Here we notice Athena drops Casey at Frank's house and leaves her there. However, Frank doesn't allow her to get in, but she somehow gets herself inside. She is very fascinated by Frank as she observes the advanced gadgets over there. Casey then enters a room where numerous screens are displaying video footage. On these screens, we see the footage of the past and the future world. Here we come to know that Frank has invented a device to watch the future and past events. Casey watched the screens, her confusion growing faster than a subscription count after a mind-blowing plot twist. As she is exploring, Frank enters the room and orders her to go out. However, Casey insists that she will not go until he sends her to Tomorrowland. Frank advises her to keep herself away from Tomorrowland, but she keeps on insisting to go to that place. Noticing all the high-tech devices at Frank's home, she realizes that he is from Tomorrowland. She inquires why he was thrown out of Tomorrowland. He says that he was out of Tomorrowland because he invented the machine, which can see the future. Here she sees a screen where she notices that the Earth is getting destroyed. Frank acknowledges her that everything is true and the Earth is going to be destroyed. Casey does not believe him as it is impossible to happen. Her strong belief brings a miracle, and the initiation time for the destruction of Earth increases. Certainly the life of the Earth increases as the arrival time for destruction goes beyond. It looks very astonishing for Frank, but he realizes that the things which we believe often happen. The strong belief of Casey that nothing could harm Earth increases the life of the Earth. During their discussion, it is shown that some robots are coming there to attack Casey. Frank rescues her and makes her sit in a bathtub. He launches his bathtub as a rocket before the robots could find Casey. Frank's house blasts after their takeoff and all the robots get destroyed. As a result, the tub takes them towards a river that was not from Tomorrowland, but from Earth. They then find Athena on the same river in the woods. Frank suddenly gets very angry because of the things that happened between them in the past. It turns out that Athena never told Frank that she is a robot back then when he was a boy. However, as his life is endangered on Earth, He has to go to Tomorrowland with Casey at any cost. For this, he talks to Athena, and from there the three of them reach Eiffel Tower with the help of teleportation device. Frank tells Casey that a few years back a group of scientists invented a land similar to a futuristic land. He informs Casey that the purpose of the scientists was to invent something, and that no one was there to stop them from the invention. Further, he says that they named it as Tomorrowland. He also says that the Eiffel Tower wasn't built for the beauty of the city, rather for an antenna to catch the frequency coming from Tomorrowland, which helps to transmit messages towards Earth. This tower is also in the opposite direction of Tomorrowland. Frank further adds to Casey that there is a rocket that helps scientists to launch from that place, and they named it a Spectacle. Later, we notice them sitting on the Spectacle. When Frank starts it, the Eiffel Tower divides into two parts. Everyone outside gets astonished. In the next scene, we see the three of them. In Tomorrowland, the governor of Tomorrowland greets them. Frank informs him that the future can be transformed according to his futuristic machine. But the governor neither believes nor does not want to listen further. Frank convinces him hard to listen. He takes Casey towards his futuristic machine, as Casey is intelligent and she does not feel any trouble handling it. Later, Casey watches her house through the machine. She sees her house getting destroyed, but Casey doesn't believe it. By watching it, she says that it is impossible to happen that way. When she says like that, their future changes in reality and her house remains intact as the destruction of the Earth is stopped. Even after witnessing this, the governor doesn't believe it. He also says to Frank that the climate of the Earth is deteriorating day by day. But people on Earth have no idea about it, and within 2 months the Earth will be destroyed. After saying these words, the governor sends them to jail, and in the jail, Athena solves all their mystery about the situation. She says that the futuristic machine invented by Frank is genuine, but the future can be potentially changed with what they truly believe. Further, she mentions that the messages of his machine are going to Earth somehow, and now the people on Earth starts to believe in the destruction of the Earth. Casey suggests a solution to stop sending negative messages towards the Earth, so people would start thinking positively and hope that it is going to change the future. They inform this info to the governor, but he still doesn't believe it. He further states that the purpose of sending those messages is to alert the people on the Earth. Casey answers that they are not doing anything because of the negative thoughts that come into their mind, and so they start to believe in the destruction of the Earth. However, the governor doesn't agree with their words. Later, he orders his men to send them back to Earth as they are about to be sent back. Frank tries to convince the governor to shake hands as they part. However, it turns out that Frank intends to press the buttons on the governor's watch to open a portal to Earth so that he can bring the governor along with him. This way, Casey and Athena are able to destroy the machine in which the future can be seen. Athena then hands over a bomb to Casey. She later opens the portal and throws it towards the Earth in order to save their lives. The governor and Frank immediately get into Tomorrowland and they start fighting in Tomorrowland. Athena becomes aware through the futuristic machine that the governor is going to shoot Frank, so she comes in front of Frank to save him and gets injured. As a result, her operating system gets damaged on the other side. A heavy metal door falls on Governor and Casey rushes to take his gun. On the other hand, Athena and Frank is seen having an emotional conversation. Athena asks Frank to turn on her self-destruction mode and to take her to the machine to destroy it. For that, Frank grabs his childhood jetpack and takes Athena towards the future machine. The machine then gets destroyed and falls on the governor, and the governor dies as a result. In the next scene, we see Casey going back to Earth to meet his family, and here she invites her father and brother to go to Tomorrowland. In the final scene, we see Casey and Frank as the governors of Tomorrowland. They bring talented people from Earth who want to invent something. Here we notice that Earth is not destroyed even though 60 days are passed, and that's because the people believe that Earth will not be destroyed and the movie ends. Smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss upcoming recaps videos, and until next time, have a good day.